Hi everyone, welcome to the Matchbook Horse Racing Podcast. It's such a good week coming up. I cannot wait for Royal Ascot 2025. We've got 5 days to preview. We're only going to do 2 today. We'll be back with you on Thursday to do the final 3 days. So we've got days 1 and 2 because we've got decks for both of those. We're going to be previewing on the Matchbook Podcast with me, Tom Stanley, Micheál, Deasy, and Donn McClean. Loads of runners, loads of prices going up, loads of races, so we'll get stuck straight in. I'll remind you of the usual bump beforehand, which is to like, follow, and subscribe, however you are digesting this content. A reminder of Pod 50 to get 50 by betting 50 in free bets. You get 50 in free bets by betting 50. The T's and C's are on the website, and every day we're going to have a £5 money back as a free bet best bet treble for you. So that's for new and existing customers. You can stick a £5 treble on our 3 best bets. And if it doesn't cop, you get your money back. Bang. Here we go. 2:30, the Queen Anne. Possibly the race of the meeting. A few people are saying that. Maybe this St James's Palace is. But there's depth to this with a couple of Guineas winners in here from last year. Donn McClean, I'll come to you first of all. Like me, you're looking away from Bang at the top of the market. I'm sure you're looking forward to Ascot and looking forward to Sardinian Warrior.
Yeah, look, and the Queen Anne, Tom, it often is the race of the meeting, and we don't maybe appreciate it at the time on the day because it's the first race on the first day. But no, it's a hell of a race. It's got the Lockinge all over it, and I just thought that the Lockinge form has kind of been maybe overrated a little bit. I thought Rousselian, look, he's 2 for 2 at Ascot. He's top class. He'll come forward, I'm sure, for his Lockinge run. But he does have 2.5 lengths to find with Lead Artist, who's for me the standard setter, Dancing Gemini. He's been like this season, he's just reached another level, hasn't he? And he was sent off as favourite for the Lockinge. You can understand why. He was very good in the Sandown Mile. And you've got Notable Speech in there as well. Is obviously he's going to come forward from the Lockinge as well. The last day is the Guineas winner. But I just thought Sardinian Warrior was interesting against the Lockinge horses, and he's a lightly raced horse. He's only had 2 runs on turf. Actually, he's run his other 4 runs have been on all weather, so he's only had 6 runs in total. He won the what's called the Queen Anne Trial at Ascot at the end of April. He beat Docklands that day. Docklands, we know how good he is at Ascot, and he was a little bit unlucky at Epsom there at the weekend. And he obviously reopposed. He's a big price, and you can see him out running his odds as well back at Ascot. But Sardinian Warrior, he then went to the Prix d'Ispahan last time, and he finished second behind Sosi. Now Sosi, he's top class. Like he won the Prix Miel last year. He finished 4th in the Arc. He won the Gannet before going on to the Ispahan. And Sardinian Warrior, he quickened up, he kicked clear, and Sosi, look, the 9 furlong trip was probably on the sharp side for Sosi, a horse who finished 4th in the Arc and won a Prix Miel. But he only just gave best inside the final furlong. And I think back down to a mile would suit him. The fact that he's 1 for 1 over the course and distance, probably put up the best performance of his career at Ascot when he ran there last. And Christophe Soumillon taking the ride, he rode him in the Ispahan as well. So that's not a negative, obviously. So yeah, look, I just think it's a wide open race. As you said, it's a hell of a race, but I think Sardinian Warrior might represent the value.
Okay, that's Sardinian Warrior for Donn. I'll come in next with a price, just because I know Deasy's focusing at the top of the market. Look, I think Rosalian's probably the best horse. I've just been stung loads of times on the straight course at Ascot by siding at the top of the market, and I just, as a rule, don't, because I don't think I'll consistently make profit by doing it, because you get thrown up some big surprises in this, as we've seen in recent years, a couple of years ago, and then going back to some horses who were sort of stepping out of handicap company when it took it. So the one that's obviously completely unexposed at the trip for me is Lake Forest. It's a real unknown whether or not he's going to get it, but he does want quick ground. He's good on a straight course, and I think it will really suit his running style. Obviously, he was placed in the I can't remember what it's called now, the sprint on the last day last year. But was he a 4-year-old? Or was it the Commonwealth he was placed in? Either way, he was placed over 6 on the straight course last year, and the way he's been shaping recently, Australia, and even what he did on reappearance, I just think he wants a mile. Now, this is a stiff mile, so it's an unknown, but I'd much rather back him with the potential to be as good as these and get it, suiting his running style, than anything bang towards the top of the market. So 15.0 Lake Forest will do for me. And I know you're with Rosalian Deas, who is, like I say, I think he's the best horse in the race, and it's just whether or not he can show it here. Do you know, just a bend I always thought suited him even better, but he's not going to get one here.
I'm not really happy with my pick. I'm looking at Cudwa as well now, but I'll just say Rosalian. Look, I think that I thought his win at the Curragh last year was really good. And again, I watched it beating Henry Longfellow as well last year at Ascot, and it just looked like just the conditions suited him so well. He was around the bend that time, but I think just rattling fast ground is what he wants. I'd forgive him the first run. This is always going to be the main target, I suppose, for the start of the season. So he should run well. I couldn't nail my colours to any particular mast in this, and I kind of chickened out and put him down there at the last minute. I think this is the last race I filled in the dock, but I could see him winning. But like, I'd only be having a tiny bit on him at the prices for the first race of the meeting. I this one, the other bets, I'll just give the quick mention to Cudwa as well. I think he's probably way overpriced, 25 to 1. He's very likely race. This will only be his 8th race. He's already won this year. He won at Longchamp there only 2 weeks ago, a listed race. He has a bit of he won in the round course last year. We haven't seen much from him. Finished close up to Charon then after that in France. I think he's probably very, very unexposed. He is decent. He won at the straight track as well. He beat Docklands in the trial there last season as well. He's 26.0, so I'd probably have a win place betting him and a small bet in Rosalind to cover myself.
All right, good man. We move on to the Coventry next up. Traditionally the best 2-year race of the meeting, 6 furlongs for the Colts. Deasy, you and I agree. You can take it away with the Wathnan second string. I'm going to back a few of those this week. There are the prices in front of you there. Underwriter 13.5.
Yeah, look, generally you want a one-race horse in the Coventry. He won by 2 lengths on his debut up there. Run very well. I think he's got a good draw there. He'd be able to go either side. Archie Watson is unbelievable in this race. I second last year at a massive price. I'd probably back all 3 of his horses as well. I was looking at Holly Doyle's horse as well, shot here, but I think Underwriter just looks, even at the price he is there now, he's 13.0. I'd say he's a really good win place bet. Just look fast, right kind of profile for this. Good trainer, good jockey. So yeah, Underwriter.
Donn, you're with an Asher cab horse.
Yes, and yeah, look, he's had 2 runs. He was actually very weak in the market before his racecourse debut at the Curragh in early May, and actually Dylan Brad McMonigal was due to ride his stable companion Substance, who was taken out of the race, so he switched to Andab. He was sent off an 8-1 shot, but he won really well from Gavu, horse of David Manans, who came out, actually runs in the Coventry as well. He's an interesting outsider. He won well at Listowel next time, so he enhanced the form of Andab's run. Andab then went to the Marble Hill and he finished 3rd behind Albert Einstein and Power Blue, and Power Blue reopposes as well in the Coventry. But I just thought he travelled really well through his race that day. I thought Albert Einstein did well to win. He was a bit keen in behind. Albert Einstein had to go 3 off the stands, really quickened up well. But Andab, he just seemed to tire close home, and just hearing it, I think Joseph said afterwards that he didn't have an ideal preparation for the Marble Hills, so it wouldn't be surprising to see him come forward nicely from that. And look, Power Blue is in there as well. He's a player, and the fact that Andab ran as well as that, he's got 3 parts of a length to find with Power Blue on that running. But I think that it's only a second run, he should be able to come forward from that. And just reading Joseph O'Brien's comments during the week, he seems to be quite positive about him. So it just seems that he could take a good step forward. I think on form, he deserves his place high in the reckoning anyway for the Coventry. And if you ally that to the fact that he could come forward quite a bit from his Marble Hill run, then yeah, I think he's a big enough price now. I thought he should be a bit shorter than he is.
Okay, and I'm with Underwriter again. I don't want to add a huge amount to what DC said, other than when he won, I thought he would be a real live candidate for this race. I thought he was pretty electric in air, and then like others have, Postmodern was really good, but I just get the feeling from hearing from the racing manager that there's nowhere near as much between them in the market as this would suggest. And James McDonald is a proper rider, by the way, and he's got a good record here as well. So that's a big plus too. He's good wherever he goes on the turf. Yeah, I think he's hugely exciting booking. So Underwriter for me at 14.5. We move on to the 340. This is the King Charles III Stakes. And Donn will come straight back to you. Last year's winner for you.
Yeah, look, as for us, she was just so good last year. I know things are different this year. She had a run in the Temple Stakes last year before she came on here. She's coming straight from having run in Australia at the end of April, coming straight on here. So that's probably not ideal. But I just thought she won with lots in hand last year. She was drawn on the near side. Regional was on the near side as well. And the two of them, I think they were two of just 6 horses on the near side. So she had to do a lot of running. She actually moved over kind of diagonally across the course over towards the far side to join them when she started to pick up. But she kept going forward and she won well. Regional he's a player in the race as well. He ran really well. He hasn't run since Maidan now. So you can see him being a player in the race. But as for just think that, the fact that she's won this race, got form over course and distance, Australian sprinters, we know how good they are. Henry Dwyer said as well, he's fitting blinkers now for the first time, and he just hopes that that's going to squeeze out a little bit of improvement from her. So, but look, I don't think she needs to improve an awful lot of what she did last year. And look, she may not be as good as she was last year, given the preparation she's had. But I think if she's even close to it, then yeah, she's going to take a lot of beating.
All right, that's Asfura. 60.0 is your shot, DC, on the Matchbook Exchange. So fire away, make your case here. There it is.
Yeah.
Another James Donald Archie combination.
Yeah. I'm hoping they'll have a good day. Look, I thought this horse was mad overpriced on one bad run. So he finished 5th in the Norfolk last year, Mysterious. Ran very well, was only beaten the length, and then really held his form very well for the rest of the season. He 3 wins a second and a close up 6th at the Breeders' Cup at the end of the season. So for a young horse, I thought that was a really good juvenile season. He went off favourite for the West Coast Stakes listed race at York there a couple of weeks ago, just completely blew out. But again, look, I'm forgiven that. I just had it 60.0. I mean, we're going to be getting a few places in this. There are going to be 5 or 6 places probably available on the exchange. So I'd have probably a small win bet them, but have a good go off them in the 5 or 6 place market. And I'd also like to give a shout to Primart as well for Jane Chappenheim. It's only his 3rd run for horse. He was with Johnny Mort 2 seasons ago. Had 1 run last year, finished close up to Flora Bermuda at York. And then her last race, her season debut, she was in a fillies race at Haydock. And just watching it back, it wasn't a fillies, a listed race. Just watching it back, she was out in the wing on her own and ran around a bit. I think that if she'd got the rail, she'd gotten the rail or something to run with, I think she would have won the race. Again, she's a very big price. She's 22 on the books. I don't know what she is, and a match with that on it in a quick look, but I probably have the 2 of them for small stakes to be hitting the place markets. Jane Chappenheim has a small string again this year going to Ascot, but she's generally a very good trainer.
Again, I've got to have big prices even in a Group 1 on the straight course at Ascot. One is American Affair, who didn't really get a run last time, and if it was a Group 1 sprint anywhere else, I wouldn't be that positive. But this course has got to suit his style. I definitely want him on side at 19.0. The other one is Westacre. 3-year-olds won this a couple of times in recent years. Westacre, when he was winning at Maidan, I was convinced that this is going to be his bag. He was 2 from 2 at the track. No, he wasn't. He was beaten first time out there. Then he won over the 5, and he bumped into a good horse first time. And he then went over 6 on World Cup night. That didn't suit. Again, I consistently feel that Maidan form is underestimated coming back to the UK. I know it doesn't always work out, but it's better than people think it is, as the Guineas winner will attest this year, and a previous Guineas winner in Morge will attest, and a few others as well. And this horse's form is good. He wants a test over 5 and a pace to Emma over 5. This is exactly what he gets here, and I definitely think he's got a more than just a sniff. Westacre at 21.0. American Affair, the other one. We move on to the SJP, St James's Palace Stakes. Really good looking renewal of this for obvious reasons. Nothing for me. If I had to go one, I'd go Field of God. I think the horse will win, but okay. I don't know. Don Coolmore just muddy this a little bit. I think Field of God will win, but how are they going to get Henri Matisse out of a pocket? Because he's got to be in one, I think, because he tends to be slowly away. And how they're going to approach it just muddies it too much for me to have a bet. I cannot wait to watch it, but I want to sit it out betting wise. Don.
Yeah, fascinating race, Tom. I think Field of Gold, it's good that he's not drawn towards the inside. He's at installed 5, which I think is pretty much ideal. Colin Keane can go where he wants from there. And I'm sure, look, he's, as you said, he's probably on the best horse in the race. We saw in the Irish Guineas, he was just simplicity personified, just rode a, perfectly simple race, used the horse's pace. And for me, the key in the Irish Guineas was that Field of Gold settled. He didn't have to bury him in behind horses. I think he was out in stall 9, or he was definitely wide in the Irish Guineas, and he was able to go around the field. And look, the mile course at the Curragh, it's not a round mile like Ascot's is. It's a kind of a dog-leggy mile. But so he gave away a little bit of ground, but not that much. It didn't matter. He won with lots in hand. And yeah, as you said, Tom, I think he's the best horse in the race. Ruling Court, it's great that he's in here. Obviously the Epsom's loss is Ascot's gain, so it's good that the Irish Guineas winner and the English Guineas winner and the French Guineas winner, Henri Matisse, they're all in here. So it's brilliant. Like, it's exactly what you want from St James's Palace Stakes, the 3 Guineas winners taking each other on. But yeah, I just think we saw Colin Keane at Sandown and Town and Country, and Henry de Bromhead's filly. He's just brilliant. You'd hope that he does really well in his first big week now in the Judmont job. And Field of Gold, yeah, you can just see him just simply going and winning.
Dease, what would you like to add, if anything?
Nothing really. Just think he's a good uncomplicated horse. They can keep him out wide, no messing with getting boxed in, and just he should have the burst of pace to win this. I'd probably go for Henri Matisse for the forecast. But he was good the last time.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I think Field of Gold will go and score, but I want to sit it out because I'm not brave enough to get involved. All right, that's the St James's Palace. Ascot Stakes I'm sitting out as well. I haven't made my mind up fully yet. I like your horse, Dease, a lot. I didn't think this is the sort of horse you'd play. What price we got? Reaching High 5.2, East India Dock 6.2, Punter 6.8. But yeah, it's all there, isn't it? Reaching High.
Yeah, I like. So just an angle that I've been on about previously, like he's an ex-Michael Stout horse that's come across, and there's been plenty of them that have had stones in hand. And he's gone to Willie Mullins. No, I know Willie said that he likes them to have an old season of hurdling before this kind of stuff because it toughens him up. But I mean, he would have known this was the target. He should have him spot on. I went through this race looking for a bigger price one, but I just think, you've got the best trainer, the best jockey, a horse that could be, that could be rated a lot higher than 94. Yeah, I'd be strong enough on him and could see him in the Ascot Gold Cup, winning the Ascot Gold Cup next year if he wins this.
Yeah, well, definitely. It's the ideal sort of route, isn't it?
Yeah.
For Her Majesty the Queen, which should be His Majesty the King and Queen, who won for the late Her Majesty the Queen a few years ago, daughter of or son of Estimate, which was fabulous. So it's all there. Like it's yeah. And then all the grumblers will come out and be like, "Can't believe the royalty have sent a horse to Ireland for an Ascot."
Racing royalty. It's gone to racing royalty.
They've sent it to Ireland. Anyway, we'll see. Right, Don, who do you like?
It's fascinating this because for all of the reasons you say, a son of Estimate, first run for Willie Mullins, he only just got beaten in that Lady Riders race, and I watched that again this morning, and actually he was unlucky not to win it because he was like not just any eagle, Pat Flynn's horse. His head was just down on the line when I think Jodie Townend's body was probably in front of Robin Donoghue-Leahy's, but just on the nod, Not Just Any Eagle was up, and Not Just Any Eagle ran pretty well next time as well in the race that Robbie's Rock won. Willie Mullins' first Royal Ascot winner was Simonon, who won the Ascot Stakes and the Queen Alexandra in 2012, and the following year was beaten in neck by Estimate in the Gold Cup by the Queen's horse, and now he's training the Estimate's son, Reaching High. It was favourite for the Ascot Stakes, and as Deasy said, probably I'm sure we'll have Gold Cup aspirations as well later on. So look, it's there's so much going on in there. Poneros is in there as well, the Triumph Hurdle winner for Willie Mullins. And Dylan Brown McMonigal is riding the Joseph O'Brien trained Leinster, who's only had 5 runs in front of Nürburgring, who I thought was coming in with a chance. Colin Keane takes the ride on Nürburgring. Ascending is the horse that I kind of came down on. I'm just a bit worried about the ground for him, but like when he was with Clive Cox, he won on soft ground at Goodwood. The ground at Cork the last time he won the Cork Derby, it was good ground, and he did well to win. He was prominent off a moderate pace, but I don't think that, like, while he was well positioned, I don't think the moderate pace would have suited him. Like in the end, he had to dig down deep, and he stayed on really well to get the better of Satin, and Satin came out and finished third then behind Kyprios in the Savile Beg Stakes. Next time, the 4th horse, Star Harbour, ran well to finish third in a good race that Pursue won at the Curragh next time. So it's good form Ascending. You can see him coming forward from that again. He's got a hurdles mark of 131. He's got a flat mark of 95, and he's bizarre because his pedigree is all stamina. It's all 5, 6, and 7 furlongs, but he won over 2 miles at Dundalk, so I wouldn't worry too much about his ability to get the trip. And yeah, Billy Lee riding for Henry de Bromhead. I think he's got plenty in his favour, but I'd just be a little bit worried tomorrow morning how the ground's going to ride. If it was very fast, I'd be wary of him. But if it's kind of goodish or good ground, then I think Ascending will be interesting.
Ascending 48.0, which is over double the price you get on a sportsbook. So with Matchbook, Ascending 48.0, 21.0 on a sportsbook. So there you go. That's the benefit of the exchange. That is the Ascot Stakes done. Moving on to the Wolferton Stakes. I'll come back in here then with King's Gambit, who ran really well here last year. 10.0 I thought was fair enough. For shapes, most starts with a little bit of promise. I respect anything that the team pick up because they don't just buy at random. I know they've bought loads, but they've got a pretty good record with them as well. And I would imagine they've been working back from this race at this meeting. I wasn't overly keen on variants at the top of the market with a little bit to find at the on the weights. So I thought King's Gambit represented a little bit of value at 10.0. Donn.
Yeah, again, look, it's it goes without saying, these are all fascinating races. Like Enfield Jar, you can see why he's favoured. He ran well in the Brigadier Yard last time. He didn't have his hood on the last day. He's got the hood back on now, so he could come forward. So you can see why he's been popular. I just thought Eckeré Secret, the race that he ran the last day at Epsom, I thought he did really well to win. It was only his I think his second run for Richard Fahey. He was with Edward O'Grady. He was a promising horse for Edward O'Grady. Won or finished place in a couple of listed races, and the last day he travelled up prominently in a race in which the whole of horses came to the fore besides him. The 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, they raced 10th, 7th, and 13th places when they straightened up for home. The finishing speed was 109%, which is lower than the par of 112% according to Race IQ. So I thought he did well to race as prominently as he did and to win as well as he did. Again, similar to Ascending, Tom, I'd be worried if the ground is very fast. He hasn't really been tried on fast ground yet, but I just thought he won so impressively the last day, and like his rating puts him right in there among them. So I think Eckeré Secret has been a bit weak in the market this morning, but I think he could go well at the price if he gets away with the ground.
And what, I mean, you're expecting what, like quick side of good to kick off the meeting for the first couple of days, hopefully. What are you working on?
Yeah, it's more, I don't know, it's more that he hasn't been tried on. Like, he's only run 7 times. All his runs have been on ground, at least on the easy side of good. So it's just a case of what price is going to be, what they're saying about the ground tomorrow, like how quick is it going to be, and if it's just good enough for him to be able to get away with it. And then it's a case of, that's a trade-off against the price that you're getting, and he has been weak. So I think he might drift a little bit more if the ground, like as you say, it's probably going to be ground on the fast side of good.
Dees, if yours gets the trip, it'll win.
Exactly, yeah. My pick is Hatem. I just think he's a really high class horse, and even like he won last year the Jerseys over 7. Like he barely got there. I think he's well worth to go at a mile and 2. Just looking through last year's form, he's up there amongst great horses like Rosalind, and even good run in the Guineas. He's had 2 runs this year now. should be spot on. I said he's not a group horse in a handicap, but he's a group horse in a listed race. I think he's a decent enough bet for this.
Okay, King's Gambit, Across Secret, and Hartem. And then finally, we come to the Copper Horse Stakes. I don't want to go first because I feel stupid putting up a 3.5 shot in here. Dees, you can go first of all. Samui, 30, I think.
Yeah, taking wild swing at a big price one in this. Look, this horse is really good. Like, decent stat form all last year, and he's run general runs like over further than this. But I think this 1 mile 6 with good firm ground is ideal for him. Like, he could have had other targets here. He would have been out of place in the 2 mile 4 race on Queen Alexandra. But I just look, he's a big price. He's a win place price. They've booked Colin Keane on him as well. And that's a good booking that kind of pulled me in his favour as well. And like, I didn't want to be going too short in this. This is not a race that you're going to get in 5 or 6 places. So I think Samui I don't know what he is on the exchange. It was actually opening up that tab there now, sorry, so I can look at the matchbook prices. I presume he'll be about 30.0, so I'll have a little small win bet in him and hit him in the 4 place and 5 place markets, maybe 6 place.
Okay, that's Samui. Donn, I was tempted. Ran well last year.
He did. He really did. Now he's higher in the handicap than he was then. My mate Mozzie, but I thought he was running on really well. He came from a little bit further back, and look, that's the way he needs to be ridden. And he was staying on the whole way to the line. He only went down by a couple of lengths in the end, and like that form over course and distance, that's obviously big positive. He's only a pound higher actually. And Warren Fentiman, he's a pretty eye-catching book, and Tom, you know him better than I do, but he seems to be a really good young rider. Gavin Cromwell, very astute trainer, has got Royal Ascot winning form as well. And my mate Mozzie, look, he's been in really good form over hurdles and over fences. He finished third in the Galway Hurdle. He finished second in that good the handicap chase at the Dublin Racing Festival behind on Pian Jarrag. And like, you can allow him his running the Red Rum chase the last day when the race was never going to be run to suit him. So I just thought that he's had a break since then back here. I'm sure Gavin Cromwell would have had this race in mind for him for a while. And he's 9 years old now, but he's only a pound higher than he was when he can probably be marked up a little bit on the bare form of his run last year. And yeah, I can just see him running a big race again.
Okay, French Master, right. This sort of race, a 3.5 shot. I don't think favourites got the even money favourite won it a couple of years ago. It was Vauban, obviously, but it's so obvious. And when the horse really got Rab Havlin out of trouble at Goodwood, we were sort of joking in the studio when we were there. That's the sort of horse that Wathnan will come in and buy. And lo and behold, they did. And the way that the horse did it was exceptional. And to go up £4 as a result, like, I think he could have won way easier than that. Now, I'm pleased they put blinkers on, obviously, because he needs that to travel a little bit better. But this horse could be so much better than this. So I have to have him on side. He's drawn okay. In a 16 runner field in 7, I'd have been, obviously very worried if he was drawn low, but 7's fine. And yeah, he should hopefully travel with the blinkers on better. He needs to, but I think he's just the one absolutely screaming out as well ahead of his mark. So yeah, I am going to try and be brave here anyway and go for that. French Master, my mate Mozzie, Samui, bigger prices. There you go. But, so you got one more, D. So you've done it.
No, I don't know. It could be in the print Queen Anne.
Okay, good. All right, Matchbook Zero, long shot. We've already shown you why Matchbook is likely to give you better odds because of the nature of the exchange with a couple of examples, and you're definitely going to be getting that at Ascot with bigger prices on the exchange. But Matchbook Zero goes live an hour before each race, and there's zero margin, zero commissions. That likelihood is further enhanced. Mine's Westacre in the King Charles III, 21.0. Donn.
Yeah, I'll stick with Andab in the Coventry Stakes, Tom, 16.0.
Dees.
Mine is Asterius in the King's Stand.
Best bets, mine is French Master. It's the shortest one I've got. French master in the last 3.5. Donn.
Yeah, I just think Sardinian Warrior and the Queen Anne. I think he's a value alternative to the Lockinge form.
Okay, Deasy.
And Field of Gold.
Good. Glad someone's gone for that. Wednesday we go. Queen Mary Stakes kicks things off. Carl Burke's got a great recent record in it, and he saddles the favourite here. But I'm looking elsewhere. Just Donn and I with selections here. I was impressed with Spicy Marg on her debut. I thought she looked really good. She's bred to be very fast. I think her dam missed Ascot when was meant to go there. But I know the yard are confident she's pretty sharp. And, if this was a few years ago, Michael Bell 2-year-old would be shorter. 13.0. He's got a few chances this week. And I thought she represented a bit of value against the field. Wasn't a race I wanted to play bang towards the top of the market. She's a massively unknown quantity. And as I say, if she was trained elsewhere, she might be even more popular. But he knows how to get a 2-year-old ready. And she looked pretty good. 13.0 for me. Donn.
Yeah, look, I just think Zelena's short, Tom. She was seriously impressed when winning at Nottingham. But Liavani won that Nottingham race as impressively as she did. And she was sent off a 22-1 shot for the Queen Mary last year. Zelana, she's a 3.0 or 3.25 thereabouts. So I just think she's a favourite to take on. Beautiful Diamond won that Nottingham race 2 years ago as well for Carl Burke, and she finished third in the Queen Mary as favourite. But I think True Love is interesting in here. She hasn't won yet, but I thought her run the last day against Gustad was a good run. That was over 6 furlongs. Gustad is high in the betting for the Coventry. Her stable companion, also trained by Aidan O'Brien. And I think the drop back down to 5 furlongs will suit her. She finished second behind Lady Iman at the Curragh on her debut. And Lady Iman, Ger Lyons, filly went on and was impressive in the Group 3 at Nace next time. And back in third that day was Power Blue, who split Albert Einstein and Andab in the Marble Hill. And Andab could enhance that form of the Coventry the day before the Queen Mary. So I just think True Love, back down to 5 furlongs. And Aidan O'Brien, filly, I think she could put it up to Zelana.
All right, that's the Queen Mary. On we go to the Queen's Vase. You two with the same horse here. Deasy, take it away.
Yeah, we're Paddy Toomey's horse Calmers. I had 2 quick runs in May. One is maiden at Ballinrobe. And ran fairly green, was running around the place, but still got up, and it was a big price today. It was 11.0. Like usually, if the yard has a good one, they go off a lot shorter than that. And then stepped up into listed company the next time, the 8 stakes at Navan, and just looks a doors there. Flew up the hill at Navan and finished strong, 1 by 3 lengths. Paddy Toomey doesn't waste many bullets when he comes over to England, so I think then it's well found in the market already. It's 7.0, but I didn't really like anything about the top 3 in the market, and this one just caught my eye when I was going through the race, so stick with him. Calmers.
Yeah, Donn.
Yeah, Micheál's really covered it, Tom. Like he just the way that he grounded out, as Micheál said, like he hit the front 2 furlongs out the last day at Navan, and he really stayed on strongly. He's stepping up a little bit and tripped just by a furlong. You can see that suiting him. That was only his second run. He's a seriously well-bred horse as well. His dam's a half sister to Lord Shannakill and together forever and forever together. One won the Oaks, one won the Fillies Mile. I'm still not sure which was which, but really well-bred horse.
Nor's Aidan, Donn. Nor's Aidan. Go on.
Yeah. from a fantastic family, and as Micheál said, you can see him going forward again, and the extra test of stamina should suit him as well.
They're so good. I'm not suggesting it's just the names. Just get him out of that. I'm sure I've heard him do it. I'm going to go with Al Wassel Storm. I know it sounds stupid. Purely on a physical. When I saw the horse walking around Epsom, I loved him. Now, he's quite a big lad. I'm not surprised he didn't necessarily love Epsom, and he was a massive price that day. But there's a bit of depth to his form, and I'll chance him bouncing back. Like it's not like he had a big race 11 days ago, and just because I think they'll go forward out of one because they have gone forward in the past, and I think that'll suit him. I think he has to out of one. I think that'll suit him, and I just think he's also around here. He's a nice animal, and I think this track will suit him better. 51.0 for me. Al Wassel Storm. It's a bit of a win place chance, but I'm looking forward to seeing him run. Duke of Cambridge is up next. Donn and I are both with Cinderella's Dream. Cut up a bit this race. I don't think it's the world's strongest race, and I think she is far and away the best of them. I think she's really smart. Disappointed she didn't have more of a European campaign last year, but they send good horses to America, and they can be a bit underestimated when they come back. She was very good last time. Mile here would be absolutely spot on. And I think I'm also pleased they moved it last year, didn't they, away from the straight round a bend, and I think that'll really suit her as well. So 3.25, I want her on side, Cinderella's Dream Dog.
Yeah, no rocket science here, Tom. She was just so good in winning the Daily Stakes. She came from behind as well, and a race, a track that favours prominent racers. The race wasn't overly strongly run either. I thought she did well, and like maybe Roaring Lion didn't run her race, but Amalka did, and she was well back. She kept on to take second place. She was almost a second faster through the final 4 furlongs than the next fastest through the race, and she was beaten ahead by Josiah at Maidan, but Josiah went on and won a grade 1 next time. So I just think there's so much in her favour. It's hard to see beyond her, I think.
Yeah, and I think she's better than anything Running Lion faced last year. So yeah, I think she'll do very well. Dees, you got anything?
Yeah, I'm going with another Paddy Toomey horse, One Look. Just look at her last season, like she went through the grades. She won a listed race to go to Group 3 at the end of the season. Like she's finished in the top 2 in her last 5 runs, unbelievably consistent. But she won well at the Curragh, beating Ecstatic in a Group 3 there at the middle of April, and like one going away, won by nearly 2 lengths. And then the next time she ran, she finished. She's beaten by Porta Fortuna by half a length. And Porta Fortuna had the run on her. I just think that like if Porta Fortuna was here in this race, running this race, she'd probably be even money odds on. I think One Look is overpriced at 8.0. I think she's rock solid and she'll be thereabouts.
All right. Moving on to the Prince of Wales' stakes. Nothing for me here. I'm going to make up my mind on the day, although I can see myself backing Factor Cheval, to be honest. But I'm not going to put him up as an official tip because I'm not comfortable enough with the races yet. You two are with the second favourite, Matt Deasy.
Yeah, I just thought like there was so little between them the last time, and you give it like Matt has race fit now. He was giving up a run to Los Angeles the last time. I don't know why there's so much between them in the betting. I would have had them probably, 2.5 each. I think they're a different level to the rest of the race. And I just thought, look, he's really good last season. I think Los Angeles is probably a typical kind of Aidan O'Brien kind of just door staying tough horse. But I think Emma has a lot of class. Even just the way he travelled upside him the last day, I thought he was very good. And I just think given the extra bit of fitness now he'll have, I at the prices I'd be backing him all day.
Donn.
Yeah, agree with all of that. I thought he should have been favoured actually in front of Los Angeles. Like there are reasons for believing that he can reverse places with Los Angeles. For starters, that was a seasonal debut, whereas Los Angeles had a run. He won the Champions Stakes on his only run at Ascot. Los Angeles finished down the field in the Champions Stakes on his only run at Ascot. He had to travel to Ireland. Los Angeles has to travel to Britain now. So I thought Anmat should have been favoured. And his record after his second run back after a break, he's finished third once and finished first 3 times, including the Prix d'Espagne and the Champions Stakes, the second run back after a break. So I think he's got an awful lot in his favour. Back at Ascot, he traded very short in running. As Micheál said, he came up on the outside in the Talis Gold Cup at the Curragh the last day. He looked a likely winner. He traded very short in running. And then maybe Los Angeles' toughness and lack of a recent run, there's probably a combination of 2 factors. He just couldn't get by. By contrast, he traded at a big price in running in the Champions Stakes. I mean, that was incredible that he managed to win that, all that was going on in that race. But he did win it, and he beat Calandagan by a half a length. And back at Ascot now, albeit on better ground, but he does handle good ground, fast ground. So, yeah, I think he should be favoured in front of Los Angeles.
I think it's a hugely fascinating race because out of 5, Los Angeles, I'm convinced, will be in front of Anmart out of 8. Now, that gives Jim the chance to track him and follow Ryan. But the question is, can he get past? Because Los Angeles is a tough horse to get past. And I think that's why I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be a fabulous contest. There we go. Prince of Wales is done. The 5 o'clock at Ascot is the Royal Hunt Cup. Old Chance Spencer here on Ancient Rome for Charlie Hills, who have been a little bit quiet, but I want to take a big price. And this horse has got form on fast ground in the UK and in America. obviously there's nothing recent to go on, but coming into a handicap like this, I wouldn't worry too much about that. I think there's every chance that he's going to be seen to better effect here than was the case when running at Newbury last time in behind Micheál. He was a bit awkward that day. Look, he tends to be slowly away anyway, but again, that should suit here with Jamie Spencer on board, who's actually got a half decent record on him. He's got some good back form when obviously was with Charlie Hills before going out to Maidan. He's I don't know. He's a bit of a could be anything, but I like stall 20 when the ground is quick. I think you want to be middle to high, and Spencer's an absolute master here. So off 102, given he's been 110, I will have Ancient Rome on the side. I think they've been campaigning for a handicap like this. Dom.
Yeah, I'm going to take a chance with Tokenomics. He's only just got into the race. David Marnan's horse. He won at Cork on his debut this season when he only won by half a length in the end from Kingstown, but he travelled really well through his race. He was over on the far side. It didn't look like he was going to get a run actually for a little while, but once he got out, he showed a really good turn of foot. He won nicely. Back in third that day was Serialised, and she ran really well in the race. That's Kukuza won at the Curragh next time on Guineas weekend off a £3 higher mark. And Tokenomics, he actually got six. He won that offer mark of 90. He got £6 for it, but there was a kind of an across the board decrease in most Irish horses' marks by £2 after that. He went down to 94. It didn't look like he was going to get into it, but he's just got into the race now. And yeah, I think he was going to go for the Buckingham Palace if he didn't get into the Royal Hunt Cup, but this was his primary target. David Marnan, very good trainer. He trained Settle for Bay to win this race in 2018. He had Dandy Boy won at Wokingham, and I think the day before, James, he was only just beaten in the Buckingham Palace. So I think this has been Tokenomics' target for a little while, and he's just a progressive horse. A fast run, stiff mile should suit him. He's 1/9 for him, so he stays well, and he's drawn towards the near side and stall 26 should be good. So I just think he's got plenty in his favour, and yeah, he's a big enough price.
Go on, Dees, this is your bag. Who have we got?
He's enough. This was a hurdles race. For the big price one is Timey Son. Dev Manuzia, he's turning into a bit of a cliff horse for me. But if you look back to around this time last year, he finished second at Goodwood to Wild Tiger, who went on to win the Royal Hunt Cup straight after it. He absolutely flew home. I don't know, is this something that the yard want to do? But he generally sits out the back and tries to come home fast. He's had 2 runs already this year, but he's just feeling his way into the season. I'd say he ran at Doncaster and Lincoln and ran at Ascot as well. He's a massive price, but look, he's a very consistent kind of miler. 7-4, like he finished third in the Cambridgeshire, so the trip should be fine for him. He's drawn right in the middle, so he can go either side. And again, look, he's a massive price. Again, he's I don't know what he is on the exchange yet, but like he's going to be 50s or 60s anyway, so he'll be a win bet and a place bet. And I just went for one. I know he's drawn on the wrong side now, and it's not ideal, but I think Bullet Point has a great chance. And I know that he's drawn 2, and you don't want to be drawn low. But if you watch his last run, he's very unexposed. This is only his 5th race. If you watch the last one, he won a handicap at Newmarket there in April, and he just got the rail and just kept going. He won it by 3 1/4 lengths. It was a really good win, and he's been up £8, which got him in here. They've saved him for this. No, I mean, he's drawn stall too, but Real World did it from that side a couple of years ago. It's not unheard of for a horse to win on that side. So I'll probably have a small bet on him as well. He's about 10.0. Bullet Point and Timey Son.
Yeah, that's the Hunt Cup done. Kensington Palace Stakes for the fillies. I'll kick you off with Julia Augusta, just because that reappearance run was really impressive. And I interviewed David O'Mara after the race about the winner, and he pointed out how much he thought she would come on for that run. I think given her back form, and since they've come there, that they've probably been working back from a handicap, because she's never really cut it in Pattern Company. Since they've had her, David O'Mara, they've run her. I don't know, they haven't run her a handicap except for last time on reappearance. So I'd imagine that's what they've been working up towards. She lines up here off the same mark on ground where she's got form on quick ground before. It's just been a while since she's won, since her first and second start. She looked better than she's turned out to be subsequently. But I think she should take a big step forward for that reappearance run. So Julia Augusta for me, Don.
Yeah, I just think Independent Expert is interesting, Tom. She's a good filly or mare for Andy Slattery. She finished third in the Irish Cambridgeshire last year for Andy Slattery. She's had 3 runs there for Stephen Thorne. I just thought her run the last day. Look, she's not obviously unexposed or anything. She's 6 years old. She's run 39 times, but she was really impressive winning at Naas the last day. And she goes into the race in good form. A stiff mile should suit her well. She handles all types of ground. Fast ground should be fine for her, and fast pace is ideal for her. She's got £7 hike for that win the last day at Naas, but she won well. She could be able to cope with that. And Jack Kearney takes £3 off as they did, took £5 off the last day. But yeah, I think she probably won with a bit more in hand, and she might be able to cope with the £7 hike.
DC.
Yeah, I'm going for Snellen, Gavin Cromwell's horse. She won the Chesham. She won in 2023. Yeah, the Chesham. She's been out in Bahrain running over the winter. But look, she's just very good. Again, look, she's a decent horse in these kind of conditions. She handled good to form. Her last run in Ireland in the last season, she was beaten 3 1/4 lengths by Donn's horse for the Hung Cup Tokenomics and giving him £9. So if he wins that, that's going to give her a fair old form boost. Then look, she's 17.0. Gavin Cromwell is just brilliant at Ascot as well as everything else. So I just thought that she was a value price for a horse that has good course form as well.
We've got nothing in the Windsor Castle. We won't put them up for the sake of it. Apologies all. So we're not doing that one.
No.
We've done 13 and 14. Match with zero long shot. Match with zero goes live an hour before each race. Most likely to get best odds because there's no margin, there's no commission. So check it out for win bets. Al Wassel Storm for me. Oh, he's probably got no chance, but it's a long shot. Don.
Tokenomics in the Hunt Cup.
DC.
Toy Me Son in the Hunt Cup.
Best bets, £5 money back as a best bet treble. It is for new and existing customers. You got about these horses in the best bet. In the treble, I should say. £5 on. If it doesn't win, then you get your £5 back. So it's risk-free. You may as well because it'll pay big. Spicy Mark, 13.0 for me in the Queen Mary. Don.
And Matt in the Prince of Wales Stakes.
And DC.
And one look in the, I can't remember the name, Duke of Cambridge. One look.
Yeah, you'll be looking at 200 plus there. So if that cops, happy days for a £5 bet. Not saying it will, but you may as well because the new and existing customers, £5 money back as a best bet treble. You get your money back if it doesn't cop. Fingers crossed it will. Guys, thank you so much. Donn, McClean, Micheál, DC. We'll be back with you on Thursday at midday to preview the final 3 days, mainly the final 2. Dan Hussey's pointing out to me it's 360 plus with the matchbook prices. That treble. So, I mean, I'm going to do it. It is risk-free. Yeah. Thanks, Don. There you go. Thanks, Dees. Have a great couple of days of Royal Ascot. Bye all.